share this. Overcoming the seasons of crisis. I'm sure you guys can see my screen right away. Understanding the keys to overcoming the time of stress and how to rise above crisis. There's one thing about crisis people don't know is that there's a benefit to seasons. I'll use the Holy Book talking about how there are different seasons on earth. Nothing. I want you guys to note this. Can you guys see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen. You can type, please. You can type. You can type to let me know if you'll see my screen. You can type so that I know if you'll see my screen. If you can see, okay, good, great. One thing about is that there is nothing is permanent on earth. Nothing. Nothing is permanent on earth. Before Facebook came, we've seen a Yahoo. We've seen several companies. How come Facebook is now the one talking? The truth is this: there is nothing that is permanent on earth. Now, to everything, there is a season and there is a time for every purpose on earth. You must have this perspective, including this crisis. I am not so good at using all this archaeology to read times, but over the time, they've said that every 100 years is like Mother Earth experiences a major crisis that helps people to leave the world, like for them to stay indoors and let the earth repair itself. If you've been following the times, you will notice even the natural disasters that has been happening since the beginning of the year was a sign how terrible more things were to come. Starting from the Australian fire. Do you know, I was watching some videos yesterday. They said the earth, the atmosphere now is returning to normal because people are no longer outside. 2, cars are not running. 3, industrial machines are not sounding. 4, the earth is calm. So there's a little repair going on. Guess what? There's a place in California, alligators started coming out from where they were coming from. People were seeing them. There's a time for everything. In the season of crisis, you must understand something. It doesn't matter what is happening. It cannot last. It cannot. No matter what is happening in the world today, you must have this perspective. It will not last. It cannot last. And what's the power of seasons? Seasons guarantee change, good or bad. Seasons, they guarantee change, whether they are good or whether they are bad. Let me tell you what's going to be happening now. There's a global power retest going on. Do you know, one of the good takeaway from COVID-19 is that nations, the level of racism in several nations will reduce. Mark my word. They may rise up later with another generation, but for this generation, it will reduce because the world will be humbled after this. Let me give you an example. Last week, Cuba are blacks too. They even though they are this Caucasian, brown, this thing. And in Italy, people, they suffer racism. And it's a small country on its own too. But guess what? Cuban doctors were praised in Italy last week and during the course of this COVID-19 crisis. What about the Italians who were stranded in Ethiopia and couldn't go back to Italy because they were afraid of COVID-19 when their visa had expired? Seasons guarantee change. Seasons gives hope. No matter how cold it gets in the winter, summer is coming. And you don't sell your winter clothes because summer is coming, because you know that after summer, winter is going to come again. I have a jacket I bought, like a raincoat. I bought 50,000 around 2017. I don't wear that stuff all the time, but I know when to use it. You know, when I'm going to any cold country and I'm traveling by air and it's going to be so cold, I put on that type of jackets because I want to be covered. You don't. Seasons give hope. You wake up. There are times you are shedding tears in the night. And that tears you're shedding in the night, all of a sudden you stop and you have this glimpse of hope, knowing that at the end of the day, morning will come. Morning will come. Seasons are power. See, let me tell you something. One of the greatest gifts, this is the time the world will see the rise of people who are like Joseph's. I'm telling you. There were seasons of life I passed through. I made an intentional policy in my life. Chris Annie, you don't enter a new year without having this amount of money saved. I don't bloody care what's going to happen. Because I have seen through seasons. Year 2012, July 8th, I lost my father. I was in the mission field. I was doing so many campus outreach. In short, the day I lost my dad, I was doing the same thing I was doing here. I was in Oka. I hosted more than 200 young people in their hall in Unizik. I was teaching young people about leadership. And that night I spoke with my dad, and I'm hoping that, okay, I will talk with him the next day, and on Monday I'll be in Lagos. Let me tell you something. The next thing, the day my dad passed on, I was in my hotel room. I felt it. So I did a call to my mom. And the minute my mom was bursting into tears, I knew something had happened. Something had shifted. Boy, oh boy, that was the darkest night in my life. Let me tell you, if I lose my company today, it's not as bad as I lost my dad. If I lose my company today, in short, that's why I like Obamdele Salakotot. I am so skilled that even in a desert, I will sell sand and produce wealth. I was in Dubai recently. My book sales had more than what I was selling in Nigeria. For that short period I stayed. Boy, oh boy, you must be built ahead of time. Seasons, there are seasons that will shape you because they just have to. That's the day I lost my dad, I became a lion overnight. Because the first thing were bills to pay. I had a younger sister who was a final year student in Babcock University. Dad left only one Jeep he just bought, and we couldn't even sell the Jeep for 1 million. We sold this, all the car distress sale we finally had to sell didn't go more than 1.5 million for 2 cars. It was a distress sale. We needed to raise school fees of more than 2 million naira. We needed house rent. I just graduated from school, boy. I've not even gone for NYSC. Boy, how will I fix this? I'm not even earning 100,000 a month. I don't have a job. I'm only a public speaker, a writer. But before then, over the time, from my year 2, I've been building myself. I was building myself to the extent one day, I took the suit my mom bought for me 7,000 naira, and I went to a place called Peace Park in Enugu, and I went there to sell books so that people can buy a book of 200 naira. I did not go there because there was no 5,000 in my account. I went there because I was intentionally training myself for the future. I was saying, no, how will I build myself so that I don't need to collect money from my father again? You must understand this. Seasons are always temporal. Crisis is not a permanent condition. Nothing remains the same. Summer does not stay. Winter does not stay. Spring does not stay. Have you seen a time where for good 5 years, there were summer or snow? But Bamidele is in Canada. I'm sure for a number of years he has stayed in Canada. Will you see 12 months or 24 months snow? No. No. And so here's the key. Write this down. This is so important. You screenshot this. The key to life is outlasting the season. The key to life is outlasting the season. If you can stay warm enough in the cold, summer will come. What you need is to organize yourself. If you can stay, boy, things are going to change. I wish I could demonstrate from my seat here how I am so organized, so undisturbed in this time. 2018, was a very crazy year for people, those of us who are Bitcoin traders. Our major source of revenue in the company was trading Bitcoin. And because I have a hedge fund, I also trade for investors. Imagine losing money from $12,000 to $3,700 to $400 to $4,000. You haven't seen that loss before. That's why when people say they lost money in Bitcoin, I laugh. If you are not prepared for the game of investment, leave. Don't stay. And let me tell you, before I came into Bitcoin trading, in my school days, I used to attend teachings, and one day somebody said something about a billionaire that lost $4 billion in the stock market. He was playing golf, and he got the news that he has just lost $4 billion. So some of his associates came around him and said, oh, we're panicking. Our company is going to fold. And he was about to leave the golf spot. He told them, bring more golf. Let's play, people. Let's play. Let's play. And he kept on playing that time. And a reporter came and said, what happened? You're not panicking. He said, I lost the money. I didn't lose my mind. Because if I lose my mind, I won't get that money again. My mind produced the money, not the money in control of my mind. It's only the poor who lose money and they go on social media and keep shouting, they scam me, the price of this asset fell. I lost money in stock market. Oh, bullshit. Organize yourself. In 2018, it was a crazy period. Do you know what you hear as DABA today was enforced because of the 2018 bear market in the cryptocurrency space? I looked at, I said, we need new revenue streams. And there are gifts I have been doing. I've been teaching people, I've been doing this. Why? We should organize this as a business school. That's why DABA is just one of the products of the company. You see Crypto Hub, you see DABA. In 2018, I tested the idea for DABA for an offline class. That how people should not know Chris Annie alone for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Because I'm a teacher. In short, if you remove everything from my life, you can't remove teaching and writing. You can't. I'm a teacher. I can read a book, the same book you read, and I will teach you what you do not see in that book. And you'll be wondering if I read the book for more than 20 years. Because it's a gift inside of me. Write this down. It is in this season, Bamidele Salako talked about documenting ideas. In this season, sit down and do an audit. What are the inborn abilities I am blessed with? I shared this last week during our Ask Me Anything question with my team. Me? I've lost money. You think I've not lost? I have been, I entered 2018, 2019, having savings, but I later ran into a debt of 4 million because of a company I was a board of advisory member for. And because of my name as the shorty, I had to start paying certain people who I never collected loan from or did business with. Some of us have taken crazy things. In the same year, I paid that same thing. I paid that same money. Not because I had 4 million waiting somewhere. No. I generated it. It's still me. Because I know how to make money even in the desert. I will look for what and sell there. You need to organize yourself. And one of the ways is do an audit of your gifts and your inborn ability. The first time we organized DABA offline class, our company generated 1 million naira. 1 million. Woo! I said, really? And I kept the idea. I started working on it. In 2019, we did a pre-launch. And look at where we are today. Let me tell you this. What we've done, my company, as Digital Abundance as a whole, has done in revenue this year, has beaten what we've done in 12 months, 2019. I am one of those people not complaining about money this period. I am one of those. And I'll tell you one of the secrets. Follow me. I am one of those. In short, this COVID-19 period, we made even more sales. I am on the verge of signing another deal of close to 100K in USD. This is the time people, in short, I know investors who are coming to me this time. In short, as I'm talking to you, investors have been telling me, Chris, open the gates for us to invest in your company. In a time many are saying they are going to lose their job, then there's something I've been doing right. And I'm going to show you here. Follow me. Seasons gives the incentive to plan for the future. You buy raincoat in summer, not in winter. I guess winter is the snow time, yes? You buy raincoat in summer, in summer. You buy. When Manchester United discovered that they were not scoring goals, they had to reach out for a striker called Igodalo, what's his name? Our Nigerian-born striker. And immediately, you could see the effect he had on the team. Why? They were planning, we need to go into this season and start scoring goals. It is not permanent. I'm sure before the COVID-19, all of a sudden, Manchester United became a more performing team. In short, Manchester United rating increased, more goals, and they changed. To tell you that things are not permanent, Liverpool started dropping. All of a sudden, they couldn't sustain the unbeaten. I'm using football to tell you nothing is permanent in this life. There is even a time to cry in life. You must understand this. Seasons are always moving. Whatever is coming, it came to pass. Whatever you're seeing now came to pass. It did not come to stay. It did not. These are the understandings you must have. This is not a time to spread fear. 1 million people got COVID-19. We know. 200,000 people have recovered. We know. 100,000 people died. We know. But this season did not come to last. It didn't come. It came to pass. Listen to this. Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Some of you have that's why people who divorce all of a sudden, I wonder, even though except on the grounds of somebody who is violent to you and wants to take your life. The reason why people are divorcing people today, aside every other violent reason, is because people don't know that certain attitudes are temporary. They don't know. Your wife is acting mad. The madness is only for a short time. Babe, she will be good. Give it time. As I tell my younger ones, they know me. There are times when, like this morning, my younger sister stays with me, my younger brother stays with me. They are listening to me as I'm talking. And I was so hungry this morning. 12 in the morning. I was like, yes, my younger sister, she should bring, I don't need to be hungry this time. I have a webinar today and I need to be healthy, keeping fit. And she came. I already was shouting at her, hey, why are you delaying my food now? And she went to respond. Why are you talking to me like that? And the next day I said, must you respond to me? And later on I said, no, what I did was wrong. But imagine if she said, no, my brother talks to me anyhow. I'm leaving his house and I'm going away. Some people have divorced because of simple issues like this. Never respond permanently. So because you saw the person talk to you anyhow, you say we're divorcing. God, how do people reason this way? Never respond permanently to a temporary problem. Never. Don't do it. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 4. Of course, some of you know I'm also a preacher. So I'm going to bring words of wisdom from the Bible here. There's a time to weep. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to mourn. There's a time to dance. There's a season to keep and there's a season to cast away. After COVID-19, some people are going to know that they don't need certain friends, so they will cast them away. Some people are now going to know that they don't need certain type of business. They will cast them away. Woo! What a time. There's a season to keep. There's a season to cast. There are crises you go through. I went through certain crises last year. I didn't complain. But when I got out of it, certain of my team members did not go in with me. did not go out with me. You know why? At that phase, they couldn't continue with the pace I was operating. So they left. They couldn't cope. Some of them will be regretting today. Some of you, because your boyfriend can't give you certain amount of money that other boyfriends are giving their girlfriends, you are already telling the guy he doesn't have a future with you. Have you gone to check 10 years down the line that guy may be a best-selling author and one of the multi-millionaires on Forbes lists? You are responding to a temporal, you're responding permanently to a temporal issue. Well, may God give us wisdom there. This is the same Bible again I'm bringing to you. Yeah, what's your wisdom? Billionaires use this thing, people don't know. As long as earth remains, except the earth is not existing. Except the earth is not existing. As long as the earth remains, there will be a planting and harvesting. There will be cold and heat. There will be summer and winter. There will be day and night. Can I tell you what's going on in the world now? The world is seeing a night season. We won't stay here permanently. Boy, watch the fresh, awesome breath many will breathe after COVID-19. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. There's going to be a lot of change. There'll be happiness restored. Families will reunite again. Countries will go back and revisit themselves and like, man, we fixed some things we didn't do right. Even for Africa, it's another time for us. What is crisis? Crisis is an event over which you have no control of. You don't have a control. You don't. You don't have control over this event. The government says, stay back. You stay back. Spanish flu, coronavirus, you stay back. Crisis is something that happens which you did not cause. Boy, you lost the job, it's not your fault. You did not cause it. You did not. You did not cause the job loss. You have no control over it, but you have control over your mind. The key is this. The key is this. We are always in control of our thoughts. Do you know, if you come to my place, I don't have a DSTV for a reason. I'm going to get my PS4 back again next week because I really want to allow my brain to do some playing of games. But you know what? I'm in control of my thoughts. I'm in control of it. I know that the more I keep seeing bad news, I will dream bad. I will be in negativity. I will be in fear. A man who is operating in fear is not in charge. But if you're operating from the realm where you're controlling things, you make things happen. You can have hope that in the middle of winter, because we're sure that summer is coming. This is the key. Crisis. Let me give you some things about crisis or some benefits of this. Crisis has always been a source of growth and development anytime. Crisis creates opportunity for creativity. I'm telling you now, my team are at work more now than they are ever before. I've recruited more than 5 new content writers this season, and we are at work. Expansion, what I'm doing is also trying to control how the expansion hitting us. Write this down. For every business COVID-19 kills, at least one more will be created. Didn't you see what Bamidele Salako put? I'm telling you now. I wish I could share a screenshot of Richard Branson. Did any country plan that they will have plenty? So many companies that are producing face masks this year and ventilators this year, they did not plan they will produce it, including the big companies. Virgin Galactico had to start going into emergency production of ventilators. For every business COVID-19 kills, at least one more will be created. Before I continue, I want us to take note of this. During the course of this teaching, I want us when we finish here and we go to, when we're done, and we go on social media to share our experience, our screenshots, I want us to use the following hashtag. And I'm dropping it right away. Okay? So these are the following hashtags we're going to use. It's on the comment section. Daba, Chris, Annie, HTS, and also Bamidele Salako. People who have taught today. Use this hashtag on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere. Use this hashtag. Daba, Chris, Annie, HTSTS, COVID-19, Bamidele Salako. You listen when they discovered anywhere, use it anywhere on social media, anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, all platforms, LinkedIn, all platforms. Crisis creates opportunity for creativity. Japan is one nation that was bombed during the World War, and today they are a powerhouse and one of the best economies. In short, on Twitter, I posted today that Japan said they will be leaving some of their power plants. They'll go away from China. They'll remove some of their power plants from China because of this time. Crisis. HTSTS, yes. Okay, HTSTC, yes. HTSTC. Do you know, can I tell you something? During the course of COVID-19, I registered a business online called visitabraka.com. One of the areas I've been looking at after diversifying from cryptocurrency to education is tourism. Can I tell you, after COVID-19, tourism in Africa will boom. Why? People are now seeing that European nations don't really have that kind of, see the way things are spreading so much. There'll be a lot, if you are an African here, there are a lot of things. Forget this, our crazy government. We'll remove them. We will change systems. Systems will change. I'm telling you. Systems will change. Tourism will boom in Africa this year, big time. Mark my word. Mark my word. Mark my word. They dropped bomb in Hiroshima. Japan left them stranded. Today, they are one of the global automobile makers in the world. They're one of the best economy in the world. Crisis. In short, in Japan, in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger and the other represents opportunity. So to the Chinese man, there ain't anything like crisis. What they call it is chin or whatever they call their chin, but all they say is opportunity, 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 opportunity. In short, the word crisis in Japan, Kiki, has kanjis, danger and opportunity. This kanji also has other meanings. The Japanese are pretty good finding ways to find opportunities when things turn bad. The best example is how they resurrected after the war. My Abba brothers are typing, bringing out face mask. The question is, what are the opportunities you're going to be looking at in this time when the world is seeing a global crisis? What are the things you will see? If you are investing in drones will be used for delivery. Let me give some expo. Because tomorrow I'm going to touch some parts when our speakers finish. Write this down in case I don't say it again. But I'm going to repeat some things. Certain businesses that will thrive post-COVID-19. One of them is food delivery business. They are already happening. Drones. I want to re-emphasize again. Go and study the trends. One of the things you should do this season, study trends. Because as businesses shift and seasons change, people will change how businesses are done. Of course, online education, nobody's arguing that. That's not my niche. Of course, cryptocurrency, that's not my niche. Tourism, that's also one. People who are investing in things like drones, artificial intelligence. These things will have a massive boom. Speakers, teachers, authors will still be in high demand. People keep saying churches will close down after COVID-19. That's a big lie. People will keep looking for sources of hope. And as long as churches are centers and churches of hope, people will keep throbbing in there. People are even going to house of prayers and looking for more prayers. Can't you see what's going on in America? Are you seeing people singing hip hop everywhere? No. Sinach, Waymaker, Miracle Worker. People are in hospitals singing, praying. Oh boy. Crisis changes a lot of things. Crisis changes a lot of things. I'm telling you, people now know that. Now, do you know there are certain changes that will never happen in your life until a crisis happens? For instance, tell a man to quit smoking now. He will tell you, no, I won't quit. Tell the man he's going to die in 14 days if he doesn't quit smoking. Automatically, you stop smoking. Just admit him to the hospital and show him his lungs and tell him this cancer, you will die in 14 days if you don't quit smoking. But if you quit smoking for the next 2 weeks, you have a chance to survive for the next. Look at this month. Let me tell you something. The real billionaires and the millionaires will keep being millionaires and billionaires. You know why? Look at the attitude of people during this time and see how they are responding to this crisis. Go on Twitter. Everybody's looking at Don Jazzy. Everybody's on TikTok. Everybody's on dancing. Everybody. Oh, is that what will you use? Oh? What are billionaires doing? Go to Lionel Messi. Go to Ronaldo. Go to these people. Go to their page. You see them. They are still training. Paul Pogba. I saw Paul Pogba, even with him coming back from injury. He's with the ball. He's with the ball. He's training inside. They play ball almost every day. Every day, because they know that this training season is going to also help them. Because if you don't train in this season, you may lose your chance of reigning in the next season. So when the poor people say we are going to rest, the rich say, no. Let me tell you, I am one of those entrepreneurs that will be resting when when the hustling starts again post-COVID-19. You know why? I'm fixing so many things now. In short, one of the things I am currently battling as the challenge now is organizing the sales in our company, organizing the release of courses, because there's so much. I have 10 products waiting in the line to release. Even me, sometimes I am tired, but I don't have any option. I don't have any option. I have one crypto money bundle I want to release. That one is about $30. I have public speaking course. That has yoga course. I have an investment to manage. I have another finance company to launch. If I tell you that resting is a lie, even me sometimes I'm tired, but like Bamidele say, you will take uncomfortable actions. Uncomfortable actions. I'm looking for uncomfortable associations too. People that they will challenge me when I see what they're doing. I'm not envious, I'm challenged. One of my friends keeps on bringing out project upon project, and he said, Chris, you must be on this committee. You must be on this committee. I'm like, guy, Chris. I said, no, next week I'm buying PlayStation. I'm getting my PlayStation because the one I had before I left like that again. Now I need to bring this in back and let me play game for at least 24 hours. Let me play career mode and build Ronaldo and buy. I'm a very, very strategic person. Gaming helped me to plan and build. So I'll choose a team, and after choosing a team, I'll start building them and start doing career mode of buying those players and all that. I have podcasts to release. I have work. Write this down. As much as you are believing for a change of season, remember, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. So as much as you are believing, you should also be walking. You don't wait in the night waiting for things to change. Look at the effects COVID-19 is going to be having on people. Fear, trauma, depression, debt, divorce, business and systems failing. It is now we know that the American healthcare system is shit. That they've been investing in war more than healthcare. Oh boy. Oh boy. The world is run like a Ponzi scheme. Run like a Ponzi scheme. People now know what is not important. What is the thing I've been doing? Somebody said he's going to beat me on FIFA 20. No problem. And that's why when I play hard. Like when I'm playing, when my player misses a chance, you see me react because that's how I voice out all the emotions. Boy, I believe this is one of the most exciting times of our lives ahead. Watch it now. So my company now, we have a challenge. One of the challenges now is that we're trying to develop, there's a platform I bought online. Oh boy, write this down. Proper preparation prevents poor performance in tough seasons. Last year, May, I was praying in my office. May 1, 2019. And in the midst of that prayer, I had this inspiration, the same way I had about my company in 2017, in the place where I was praying. I had this same nudge in my spirit and said, write this down. Start an online education platform for young people, teenagers, secondary school people, and those who are preparing for WAEC and JAM. Call it Oga Lesson. Boy, that night I got credit card. Boom! Went online. I checked ogalesson.com, ogalesson.io, ogalesson.ng. I bought all the domain names. I kept it. You know why? Because I knew there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time when people will be looking for online education platform. You know why? Because I've already predicted the time that, man, people will get tired of tutorials. People will get tired of, are you not tired that when you're preparing for JAM, you only read and you go to lesson? Why can't I have a platform where instead of paying 10,000 naira per month, I will have the lesson on my phone and I can watch it anytime. And even if I don't know anything and the teacher is not available, I can rewind and watch what I'm learning. And that's why I'm investing in online education. Do you know, months after that, I saw Shimishaye release U-Lesson. I said, what? That's why you must act fast on your ideas. This year, I now saw Dubai host more than 1.2 million people online. Guess what? I'm not even in a rush to launch because we're launching that product, 2029, because we're preparing now. By this month, we're going to release the landing page. People start registering. People start signing up. We'll start releasing one video every month. One video. Before you know, by 2021, you're going to learn that Chris Annie's company is now worth over $2-3 million. And you're wondering, how did this guy do all of a sudden? It is not overnight success. There's been something building over the years. That's why, thank God, this guy called Jeff. I'm happy with what I'm seeing now. One guy called Jeff, when Bamidele Salakosala is teaching, Jeff King, he was saying, why this guy should go straight to the point. And I'm like, you don't use this type of rushing mindset to build your life. And I'm happy now that the same Jeff is testifying about things he has learned on the comment section. Guys, this is the time. You are not even a star yet, and you're relaxing in season time, saying you are resting. I saw people saying, who criticize motivational speakers. And they say, make all this aspire to inspire people, allow people rest this time. No, don't rest. Don't rest. You don't know what is going to meet you when you go back to your job. A sack letter may be waiting for. Companies are going to lay off 6 million people said they fight for unemployment, and you arrest him. In the midst of this crisis, your belief system in the midst of this crisis is the most important. It is the most important. This is the time to get to work while you are waiting for a season to change. I want you to go back and everything Bamidele Salako has taught. Hey, you've got to sit down and start implementing. In the next 24 hours, do an audit of your life. Because tomorrow, we're going to be having conversations, questions, and I'm going to get real-time response from you all. Thank you all for participating in this webinar tonight. And this is where my teaching comes to an end on day one of this webinar. Whew. Let me get your feedback, guys. Let me get your feedback. And if you have a question, please drop it now. We have 10 minutes more for question time, for conversations, and I want to get your feedback. I want to get your feedback. I want to get your feedback. Please do not forget to go online and every teaching, use the picture, use Daba, use Chris Annie, tag me on. And those of you who are not ahead, and those of you who are not on my platform, please, I know there are a lot of you here who are not on our Telegram channel. And there are those of you who are not even on our WhatsApp groups or this thing. Please, I'm going to do that right away. I'm going to share my number right away. 0703-521-9208. I'm going to share. Yeah, I like the response I'm getting. I like the feedback. And for those of you who want to get a skill online, remember this is Daba. Daba is an online education platform where people learn a new skill. In short, do you know this COVID-19 season? One of my associates on Monday, this week alone, has earned over $1,000.